So there are a variety of criteria for going offshore. The obvious ones are English language, whether the legal system is similar to the legal system of the person trying to offshore, usually British common law. Is the jurisdiction a place that has lots of lawyers? Or in other words, is it scalable? Are there enough people to do the work in a meaningful way? There are some obvious ones: technology, infrastructure. Are the governments of those countries where you're offshoring committed to growth? Are they committed to investment in the infrastructure, in the transportation needed? There are some less understood ones. So is there a comfort in dealing with the West? Are they comfortable dealing with the people they're going to interact with? Do they understand the lexicon? Do they understand the nuance of communication? Do they have exposure? Do they like each other? Very interesting. Perhaps the most interesting we find in our business, because we are US and UK centric, is two factors. Number one, is it a capitalist economy? And number two, is it a democratic political environment? The reasons those are so important are much of what we do as lawyers and the work that clients send offshore to be done is influenced by the free flow of goods and services and supply and demand in a capitalist economy. And the documentation around that is influenced heavily by the idea of democratic principles. So, and the things we've come to understand about how a contract works and how the legal system works and how courts work, and the right to redress really informs how we as lawyers think. I think that's probably the answer I find most compelling when people say to me, well, why wouldn't you just do this in China once they learn English? The problem with a place like China for doing legal work is there's no core background in jurisprudence the way we understand it in the United States and in the UK. There's no core background with fundamental democratic principles, and that those principles would be upheld. An independent judiciary, an independent government, government that can be elected out of office. And it's not yet a fully functioning capitalist economy. There's an awful lot of state control. And so the understanding of what a contract means, the understanding of what intellectual property rights mean, and whether those rights will be respected is vastly different in a place like China than in lots of other jurisdictions that speak English.